of Revelation 19, verse 7 says, "Let us be glad and rejoice and give him praise, for the marriage of the Lamb has come, and his wife prepared herself." How exactly does that happen? This is Barry Phillips with 10-minute Torah, day 3 of Pinchas. Let's go into Numbers, chapter number 26, and read verse 1 and 2. "And it came to be after the plague," notice that, after the plague, "that Yahweh spoke to Moshe and to Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saying, Take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel, from 20 years old and above, by their fathers' houses, everyone going out to the army in Israel." What's interesting here is in the previous verse to our reading, Yah is saying that it's time to go and distress the Midianites. Well, we get the idea then that the following words of a census is to number the army so that they then can go and distress, pick a fight with the Midianites and conquer them. But if we go over a little bit to chapter 26 and verse 52, we find then that Yah is saying, verse 53, "The land is to be divided to those to these as an inheritance according to the number of their names. To the larger one you give a larger inheritance. To the smaller one you give a smaller inheritance. Each one given its inheritance according to their registered ones." And so we find then that Yah is not so much numbering the men 20 years old and above to determine the number of warriors that Israel has, but rather by each tribe for their tribal allotment. This gives us an understanding that Yah may only give to us, empower us to take possession of that which we are capable of defending. Why would he entrust to you or to me something that is beyond our ability to operate in or to defend? Yes, he elevates our callings. Yes, he elevates our abilities in the realm of what seems to be impossible. But if I can't defend it, I have no ability to defend it, why would he entrust it to me rather than someone else who can? And that doesn't mean then that Yah doesn't want to give us more or entrust us with that which is greater than what we already are entrusted with. But it does say that we need to increase our capabilities. If you want to be entrusted with more, increase your capability by defending what you have, increasing your ability with what you have, and in doing so, you will increase your capability to do more. Study, show yourself approved. Be instant in season and out of season, and those kind of things. And so we look then at this situation and realize that one tribe has decreased their capability. In a previous census, we find that in the tribe of Shimeon, that there were 59,300 men. And this particular counting census, it says that they have 22,200. That's a difference of 37,100 men to the negative. They've lost over 37,000 men. What we're also told then is that there was a plague concerning the era of Baal Peor. There was a plague that took out 24,000 men. It stands to reason then, just doing a little math, that of that 24,000, perhaps most, and maybe not even all of those who were struck by the plague were Shimeonites. And what's also interesting here is that the name Shimeon means to hear. Get a clue, I think we all should here, and that is that our hearing, if we lose it, if we lose our discerning, if we lose our not just our ability, but our desire to hear Yah's voice, if we're allowing the events of the world's stage to parade across our minds and our eyes and constantly captivate us, it could be that we will be distracted. How often has it been that someone is speaking to you and they ask, "Did you hear me?" "Well, oh, you were speaking to me? I thought you were talking on the phone. I thought you were speaking to someone else. I didn't know you were talking to me." Come on, guys. Every one of us has done that. Our wives have looked at us and said, "I'm talking to you. Did you not hear me?" No. Why? Because we were captivated by whatever our hands were doing at the moment in our job, or we were watching TV or listening, or whatever it was. But we're not paying attention. There is so much taking place in the earth. There are wars, there are political campaigns, there are events taking place in Israel, there are our own daily duties and family requirements and hobbies and attractions. The list goes on. And it's very easy in the process of engaging in all those things that spiritually we end up putting our fingers in our ears, not realizing that we're shutting Yah's voice out. It's dangerous in that the call from heaven is the marriage supper of the Lamb is approaching. It's time to rejoice and to be glad, so that we, as a member of the body of Messiah, the bride of Messiah, can prepare ourselves. If the bride of Messiah is distracted, which she often is, we may have a problem. Add to this mix the fact that Shimeon, as the tribal originator, the son of Yaakov, he was known to be an angry, hot-headed individual. He appears to act before he thinks. If we allow the things in this present world to engage us emotionally instead of with discernment, then our radical steps will be taken by the fuel of emotion. We cannot be guilty to get caught up in the latest trends, the latest whatever's going on, that war for our minds and war for our attention. Yah is saying to us, I want you to prepare yourself. If we notice how that was worded in the book of Revelation, it doesn't say the marriage supper of the Lamb has come, and so the bride began to prepare herself. It says she prepared herself. That it be said of us that we're already in the process of preparing, that we are not sticking our fingers in our ears and failing to understand the day, the season, the times that we're in, but rather that we're looking around and realizing it's not time to play games. It's not time to be distracted. Too much of what's going on around us is vitally important, in that it is leading us to the appearance of Yeshua, our Messiah. As we hear the footsteps of Messiah, as we are discerning his voice, as we are seeing and recognizing the times and seasons that we're walking in, not only should we be paying attention, but preparing our heart. Yeshua warned us that in the last days, that deceptions would come, that if not for the hastening of the day, shortening of the hour, all of us would be deceived. All of us would be led astray by lies, and we would all be condemned. In other words, there's none of us that are above deception at that level. But if I'm engaged, we're engaged in actual preparation, devotion, opening our ears, letting the world go by its own pace and doing their own thing, but focusing on the face of Yeshua, we should be ready. Be ready. And be ready tomorrow. We'll see you again then. Until then, shalom.